Melanie Martinez's fans worship her and the internet thinks it's disturbing.
And of course, her fan base is just as toxic, just as problematic, and they victim blame and enable behavior.
From the moment Melanie got on the stage with The Voice, they worshipped her like crazy. They've even been treating her like their god, and they'll harass literally anyone who would call her out. And they did exactly this when Melanie was accused of SA by her own best friend Timothy Heller.
Speaking out against my abuser ruined my life.
See, Timothy came out and said that even though she said no multiple times, Melanie still made her advances. But that's not all. Mel also admitted that something did happen between them.
She used the sentence, "She never said no to what we chose to do together." While I did say no, in many different ways.
Which the internet thinks is basically an admission from Mel. She never said no as a literal confession. Despite this, her fans stopped at nothing and spun the narrative around, accusing Timothy of making things up for clout.
In which she thanks her fans for researching the timeline and analyzing past Instagram posts which reveal my false statements. A complete contradiction of her statements meant nothing.
But just when people thought the fans couldn't get any more unhinged than this, they proved everyone wrong, because they also did this to Timothy.
The way she was attacked, harassed, doxxed, everything under the sun for coming out about something that happened to her.
They made Timothy's life a living hell, forcing her to quit social media because the hate was just too much to handle. But these stans didn't just attack Timothy. See, creators who believed Timothy and covered her story also got dragged by them. They even mass-reported videos that exposed Melanie's dirty laundry.
They're living up to their reputation right now of being one of the worst fandoms ever because report the video to take it down. Are you kidding me?
However, that wasn't the end of it. They also claim that the only reason other people like to talk about their idol is because they're desperate for some attention. But probably the lowest they ever stooped was when Melanie released her adult coloring book.
The Crybaby Coloring Book by Melanie Martinez is literally depictions of child material, and nobody is going to tell me otherwise.
But they did tell this TikToker otherwise and made up alibis for Melanie again.
One of the excuses that gets me the most is that this coloring book isn't even marketed for kids. It's marketed for adults, so what's the big deal?
Despite the Chronically Online pressuring them to do the right thing and hold Mel accountable, they wouldn't have any of it. Because to this day, they still support Mel. Even when she released overpriced merch, they bought it with no questions asked. I mean, remember that time Mel also released his perfume collection?
Yes. This was $275. I will admit though, the plastic does make it look a little cheap. Like, it does kind of look like a toy.
Well, newsflash, it got sold out. But this isn't the only time Melanie got slammed for allegedly ripping off her fans and them being her willing victims. Because to this day, everyone's still salty about that time she also made them pay $400 for a VIP meet and greet. But here's the catch. They weren't actually meeting Melanie in the flesh. It was just an AI-generated hologram of her.
This VIP package experience was just fans walking in front of a wallpaper and taking a photo with AI-generated Melanie Martinez.
But there's more. Because if you didn't know already, Mel went from looking like this to this. And rumor has it she's only transforming herself so she can finally silence all the backlash against her. But just like all of her controversies, her fans think this isn't true at all. They even fully support Mel's new persona, which leaves many of the critics thinking, will they ever see through Melanie Martinez for who she actually is?